This is the gas storage, what happens, the gas from the top of the digester comes out of...
bubbling out the bottom, I think, yeah.
Comes out, and Killen, could you just talk them through the water trap?
Oh yeah.
On here.
Well, so there's just a little sort of U-bend, so that there's a seal there, and water can condense, but the gas can't get out. You should be really burning. I think you turned off the boiler last night to make sure it was full, but now it's bubbling out the bottom.
The way we have set up inside, we have a boiler which we have matched to be able to burn 24 hours a day from the gas here. Gas storage, if you want to have a big gas storage, you're sort of looking at big investment. So generally what people do is either try to match the volume of gas produced with a device. So on a bigger system you could be running a boiler, combined heat and power unit generating electricity. But on here we have got a little hot water boiler, which what we have tried to do is circulate hot water around the actual unit to minimize any electricity usage for keeping it up to temperature. Another possible use of the gas, which is going to be covered by Killen in his presentation, is you can actually compress the gas and then you can use it at times when you actually need it. So for example, in the summer when you don't need to be burning the gas for heating, you could be compressing in a bottle and then use it either during the cold season, or you could potentially run a vehicle or something like that, or garden machinery. You have other gas storage options, things like big lorry tires, more fancy stuff like bubbles made out of fancy scientific materials. But this is made out of a 220 litre blue barrel, and this is, you're going to hear this term IBC, which is a standard 1000 litre container, stands for intermediate bulk container. So these are generally quite cheap things to get by. You can get one of these things for about 30-50 pounds, between 30 and 50 pounds second hand, and these things for 20 pounds. What we have here, the gas comes from the gas scrubber to the top. You can vary the amount of weight with this highly sophisticated thing, brick. One issue you have got is that this is at very near to atmospheric pressure. So to run it through any gas device, you need to have it at much higher pressure than this. So it's a bit of an issue finding equipment which works at that low pressure. You might have to do some modification on equipment, or it's going to be covered by Killen. So
I'm going to talk a lot about gas. It actually, you don't need a lot of pressure to run a device, but it's more dependable if you have it at a pressure and then going through a regulator, because this can just sort of rub on the wood and then the flame slows down. It can be really, I've cooked on these kind of floaters for years and it just drives you up the wall, eventually.
Love the design, that's great, that.
Oh, good. You better light it, then we're releasing methane into the atmosphere here.
So now something that actually wasn't covered in the presentation this morning, which is very important to this whole setup, is what we're trying to do is utilize methane gas by not releasing it into the atmosphere, by burning it. So when we're burning it, we're cooking and sort of releasing carbon dioxide and water.
Why do you need so much water here?
You don't. You absolutely don't. It could be just an inch bigger than the,
okay.
And that would be better.
All right. Okay.
This is a low-cost solution.
Okay, sure.
One brief thing to mention before we move on is that in harsh winters you need to be worrying about this freezing if you have it outside.
stopped all gas.
What the issue we have had is that we've had to, during the winter, to use the majority